Everything is money. Tina Brown accuses Meghan of giving Harry the tools to betray royal. In Tina Brown's new book, The Palace Papers, she claims Harry had been thinking about stepping back from royal life for years but wasn't able to do it until he met Markle. She also says that the Queen was aware of Harry's desire to leave royal life. In an interview with The Washington Post, Brown said, I think that it is true, though, that Meghan has been unfairly, I say this in the book. I actually think that it was unfair, in a sense, to call it Megxit, because I really think Harry wanted out himself. And one of the advisors did say to me, and I was kind of shocked by this. A very close person in the circle said to me, we always knew that Harry was going to go at some point, the author continued. He was really unhappy. The Queen knew that at some point it was highly likely that Harry would want out. But they didn't know it would be so fast, and they didn't see it happening in the way that it did. Brown credited Markle for helping the prince see that he could leave the royal family, saying, and I think it's also, then, fair to say that Meghan gave Harry the tools to leave, because she was wired in. She understood the world of agents and deals. And this wasn't Harry's world. But suddenly he had in Meghan a very worldly strategist, who he decided to trust above all the other advisors. And I don't think that was such a good, smart move. I think that, yes, I get that he wanted, this more exciting and imaginative use of his gifts. But I think there was a lot that could have been achieved inside the royal family, the writer concluded. While Brown does give Markle credit for helping Harry finally step back from his royal duties and strike out on his own, she also said the couple might have underestimated how hard it would be to work without the palace resources. Because what the palace does, of course, it has an amazing convening power. There's no one who won't take a phone call from Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace. They've got a huge convening power, Brown explained. Every invitation in the world comes through that conduit and private secretaries can just sift and say what about appearing this, or why don't you do this? All of that is now gone and they have to have PRs do that for them and their judgment is not necessarily the best judgment. It's no secret that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have a, strained relationship with the royal family, and apparently the situation is so tense that the palace staff have a nickname for them. According to a Mail on Sunday excerpt from author Giles Brandith's upcoming book Elizabeth, an intimate portrait, whenever the names of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex come up in court circles, courtiers flinch and change the subject or refer to them as persons who live overseas. Meanwhile, Brandith writes that if Harry and Meghan are mentioned to members of the royal family, they simply smile briefly and say we wish them all the best and nothing else. Truly cold/rude. Anyway, this revelation comes amid the royal preparing themselves for, by which I mean spiraling over, Prince Harry's upcoming memoir, Spare, not to mention the couple's Netflix docuseries which is said to be dropping on December 8th. And while the Queen isn't around to see either project, according to Brandith, she was always more concerned for Harry's well-being than about this television nonsense, so at least that's something. Brandith adds that Her Majesty simply wanted Harry to find his feet in California and find really useful things to do, and was basically pretty chill when it came to royal family drama. Here's to hoping the rest of the royals can take a leaf out of her book. But considering a recent report that Prince William and Kate Middleton aren't going to see the Sussexes when they're all on the East Coast in a week, seems like things will remain tense for now.